Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. As you can tell, I'm not in Dubai today. I'm filming this from my villa here in Uluwatu, Bali, where I'll be spending the next 3 months hiding from Dubai's summer heat while also focusing on my Bali investments. We actually started our first hotel project back in 2019 in here, a 20-room boutique hotel that's been a super host for 6 years now on Airbnb, and now we're working on some new exciting developments. But today's topic is a juicy one. Is Dubai or Bali the smarter investment for 2025? Let's dive into the facts, run the numbers, and find out which one makes more sense depending on your goals and budget. You might be surprised, but Dubai is actually much more accessible for first-time buyers and smaller investors. And while I don't want to take sides because this view is really worth it, let me tell you all the arguments I have and you will take the decision at the end. Dubai has lower down payments. You can start with as little as 5 to 10% on your off-plan investment, and as a resident, you can buy a property with a mortgage with 20% down payment or 40% to 50% as a non-resident. There are also flexible payment plans with 3 to 7 post-handover payment plans, no property taxes, no capital gains, and lifetime ownership for foreigners, which is a big plus. Bali, on the other hand, is a bit trickier. Leasehold only for foreigners of usually about 25 to 39 years maximum. Yet, don't get discouraged. Freehold is also possible, but only via a local nominee or a PTPMA, which is basically you registering your own company here in Indonesia. There's also a requirement of a full payment for Bali investments, or at most within 12 months. There are also high setup and legal fees for company structures, so if you're a new investor, then Dubai probably is a better option, or at least an easier, more accessible option for you. And you might be surprised because it sounds like Dubai is more expensive, and maybe that is true in terms of the prices, but definitely not in terms of the entry barriers. Dubai is clearly the cheaper entry point because you have multiple options on how you can purchase there, and definitely this caters the smaller investors much better than Bali. Another point which I want to make is the ownership and the legal risks that are involved in these two places. In Dubai, ownership is regulated, safe, and straightforward. You get full title deeds, clean paperwork, and most processes are actually digital. In Bali, you're exposed to more legal gray areas. Many investors buy leaseholds from owners that don't actually hold the freehold property rights. Subleases are also common in Bali, and I personally started like this while now we're building on our own. But this is definitely very common, and not only from owner to tenants and so on, but also from the developer themselves. Meaning that your agreement is not directly linked with the actual landowner. Any dispute can be quite messy, and the courts will, of course, favor the locals. Dubai, no doubt, is far more secure in this aspect. Some developers actually offer you a longer term of ownership here in Bali, but that is actually a sublease from down. So basically, if you hear anything at around 100 years lease, then that's most cases from the actual developer and might not be from the actual legal owner, which can become messy in a couple of years. So it could be an interesting option, but it's not as straightforward and easy to understand as it is in Dubai. Now, if we speak about ROI and rental demand, that's where Bali will shine. With the rise of luxury tourism, a one-bedroom villa with a pool in Bali can give you really incredible yields. On average, such villa costs around $200,000, and daily Airbnb rates will be at around $100 to $200 for such a newer built villa. There's also high occupancy, especially in areas such as Canggu, where I started, and here in Uluwatu, because this is a surfer's paradise. So many surfers, especially from Australia, are coming here, and they are willing to pay that price. Payback is the point that I like the most, because in Bali, that could be around 3 to 4 years, which is quite incredible and definitely not really achievable in Dubai. While in Dubai, the ROI is also very strong, and there is, of course, a lot of rental yield and demand, especially in areas such as Business Bay, JVC, downtown, or the other more touristy areas. You'll end up paying a little bit more for a one bedroom at around $320,000 on average, and expect a good 8 to 10% ROI payback. That is quite the standard for the properties in Dubai, and that is on a full cash investment. Obviously, if you invest with a mortgage and when your tenant is actually paying your principal, then your actual end return is going to be double most of the cases. At least that's what the maps say. If you're getting into a 20/80 mortgage and with the maximum of 25 years, but still, even if you get it for a shorter period of time and higher down payment, you will end up having still a better return ROI for your investment because you're not paying all in cash. Airbnb also works in Dubai, but it's not as high yielding unless you really manage it super actively and you're very, very involved. If you simply give it to a Airbnb property management, they most probably will manage it very well for you. They will take care of the maintenance and they will give you the returns from that. But you can't really push for, the maximum occupancy or better rates and so on. So you're not really controlling the fate of your property if you are not actively involved. So for Airbnb and quick returns, Bali most certainly wins. But for passive income and stability and also some capital appreciation, Dubai is the favorite side. Now let's talk about maintenance and property management in both these places because that is something that will probably shape the image. Bali has a hidden cost issue, and that issue is quite a serious one. And trust me when I say that because I was doing here Airbnb for the past 6 years and it definitely affected us. Humidity, termites in salty air equals constant repairs. We've literally changed our bathrooms once in 6 months for the past few years just because there was more rain in this rainy season in December to March. And even now, when it's supposed to be dry season, we still have some rain once in 2-3 days. Maintenance is costly and the quality varies quite widely. Power cuts, water issues, and poor insulation, it's leading to such issues to appear more frequently. Besides that, you also have the tropical climate with the animals and snakes and everything you can imagine. So you really need to invest into that as well, at least to have your contacts and your people who will take care of that. And because of that, you also have a bigger number of staff employed if you're running a couple of Airbnbs because you'll need a pool guy, you will need a maintenance repairs person, and then you will need a cleaning staff as well. Honestly, that's one of the issues that's actually holding me towards investing more and more in Bali, and that is something that I will be talking about way more often on this channel for the next 3 months because I might actually do some videos about my actual Airbnb now and show you how it works and what to expect from such investments. Also, this is all manageable. So if you are actively involved, if you don't mind that and you don't really need just a simple passive income stream, then this could be a very good option. Dubai, while not perfect, is more reliable. Properties are easier to maintain. You have access to dozens of professional property management teams that will definitely take care of your property. While in Bali, for example, you don't really know what to expect because everyone's super different. Some people might have the experience, some might not have that, and they charge the same. So you can't really differentiate between those. Infrastructure and utility services are world class. That's why if you don't want to have surprises, Dubai is a safer bet. Now, what about lifestyle and accessibility? Dubai obviously is very well situated on our beautiful globe and has amazing access to all kinds of flights and all world destinations. It has really good healthcare, maybe not the best in the world, but is definitely better than in Bali. And I'm telling you that because I was stuck here during COVID and I had to fly in and out. And honestly, I didn't find it very reliable. That's why I went back home to Moldova, stayed there for a couple of months, and only then came back the next year. Dubai also has good international schools, which is actually the same in Bali. It's a bit obviously less. The competition is higher in Dubai, so you will expect better schools and better service. But most importantly, in Dubai, you have legal and financial transparency. Bali is, of course, amazing for the nature and the lifestyle. The cost of living is super cheap, and with your budget in Dubai, you will do 10 times more things here in Bali. Doesn't matter where you stand in life, where you're located now, but whenever and whoever comes to Bali, they always elevate their lifestyle. You have amazing massage services, spa, surfing, healthy food, amazing restaurants with really affordable prices. And moreover, you have creative digital nomads and entrepreneurial people with amazing life stories surrounding you, and that makes the community living much better and you feel more fulfilled in life. But regarding the investments here in Bali, you need a very solid, strong team that will be good on the go, especially if you are located abroad and you're only traveling to Bali a couple of times a year or even once a year. So some of the key comparison points is that Dubai, first of all, offers ownership for a lifetime and is freehold, while Bali only offers a leasehold in most cases if you are a simple investor and you don't have a company here in Bali. Dubai allows mortgages even for foreigners, while in Bali, there's no chance and you can absolutely forget about mortgages. Resale is easier and leaner in Dubai, so there is a better exit gain there. UAE dirham is way more stable and secure comparing to the Indonesian rupiah, which is way more volatile. So that also depends for your investment, because if you're gonna resell it or you want to have some capital appreciation, but the rupiah is actually depreciating, then you may end up having no results and no return. Dubai's data transparency and regulation exceed far away Bali's, but I think I would say that Bali has still a more mature market because there are more villas and people were coming here and going for ages, for decades actually. So you actually have a better understanding of the market, where you shall go, where you shall invest, where you want to live as well, because there are many more communities than in Dubai, at least at this right moment. So now what's my raw take on the investments in Dubai and Bali? Basically, in my current situation, I am looking more towards having a bigger portfolio that is more stable, doesn't need too much active involvement. That's why I'm choosing Dubai. And also, it's a bit more stable and more regulated, which makes it way easier for me to manage a wider portfolio. Whereas in Bali, if I wanted to do that, then I'll have to involve so many people, employ new staff, and definitely make sure that they are always trained and always ready to offer world-class service to our guests, because if you don't maintain your Airbnb status, then you're definitely losing in the game, because there are so many of them here. There's plenty of competition and you really need to stay ahead of the curve to succeed and have a really good ROI. However, I am quite keen and interested to look into the land options that are here in Bali, maybe buy something and register a local company and have it as a freehold land where I might build something for myself and my family, or even for the guests. Maybe I will look into building a hotel in the future, but just buying straight away, I am interested, but not as much as Dubai, because that again is way more stable for me right now. To conclude, is Dubai or Bali the smarter investment in 2025? If you want secure ownership, freehold rights, and long-term passive regulated income, then Dubai is the best option. If you want, on the other hand, high short-term returns, creative boutique hospitality plays, and a potential Airbnb gold mine, where you can also have it as your second home and also travel to Bali, stay in your second home, and then rent it for the remaining days of the year, then Bali is the best option. As you could see from this video, I would personally continue to invest in both, but just from different angles. Let me know in the comments which one would you pick for 2025. And if you like this video and the new setup, please drop a thumbs up, subscribe to see more of these videos in the future. I'm planning some exciting videos coming up in the next months, and share this with someone, maybe your friends who are actually looking to buy overseas. See you in the next one, still from Bali.